Brotherhood is not a jihadist organization. Amazing.
Zawahiri, and I'm so glad that you brought this up, because Zawahiri wasn't a jihadist until he was placed in the dank and sadistic prisons of Egypt and tortured, and then when he came out, then he became a jihadist.
Well, that's actually not true.
No, it's absolutely true.
Well,
he was a member.
Read The Looming Tower.
I know, Lawrence Wright. We've talked about this. He himself, Zawahiri, was of course a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, but the Muslim Brotherhood is not a jihadist organization.
Close enough, by my lights.
That again indicates the profound unsophistication that you have about this region, to think that there is a connection between the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and Al-Qaeda, that they are exactly the same thing. Or
I'm not saying they're the same thing, but
that they're close enough.
The ideology is so close in its divisiveness.
You could not be more wrong in that case.
Well, we've read the same book.
The Muslim Brotherhood, as you know, is taking over in Egypt now. And it's an organization that was founded in Egypt. It is dedicated to restoring the political aspects of Islam. It was actually founded in 1928. In 1924, the caliphate was abolished. The caliph was the successor of Muhammad as the political, military, and spiritual leader of the Muslims. And in 1924, the secular Turkish government, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who was the founder of secular Turkey, which is now on its last legs, he was really the only Muslim leader in the history of Islam who has realized that his country was wrecked because of Islam. And so he abolished the caliphate, which is like as momentous a thing as if an army were to go into Rome and depose the Pope and say, no more Pope. And there hasn't been a caliph since 1924, but in 1928, Al-Banna established the Brotherhood in order to reassert political Islam. He thought it was a terrible thing what Ataturk had done, that Ataturk was an enemy of Islam, which he was, and that the Brotherhood was going to put it all right again and reunite the Islamic world under a new caliphate and spread Islamic law over the world. Now the Brotherhood, a few years back, had a meeting and mapped out its strategy and goals for the United States. This was a private meeting. The press was not invited. I wasn't there. Only Brotherhood members were there. But as it happened, during the Holy Land Foundation trial, it all came out. The Holy Land Foundation was, a few years back, the largest Islamic charity in the United States. A charity, right? Isn't that nice? You know, feeding the poor, taking care of the needy. Well, actually, they were giving the money to Hamas. The Holy Land Foundation was shut down, and their offices were raided, and it was a great moment. It was a beautiful thing, because we found out more about Muslim Brotherhood operations in the United States from the documents that were recovered from the Holy Land Foundation offices than we ever knew before. And this document about their strategic goals for the United States was one of the things that was uncovered. And it's, in first place, it contained a helpful list of the Muslim Brotherhood organizations in the United States. And so that's how I know that the Muslim American Society, Islamic Society of North America, Council on American Islamic Relations, etc., are Brotherhood groups. And it also said that the brothers must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house so that Allah's religion is victorious over other religions.
Now, if you don't trust Robert Spencer for some reason, after all, he is a fat gay walrus, according to Reza Aslan, everything he just said, you can confirm for yourself if you look up the Holy Land Foundation trial, when the largest Muslim charity got taken down for donating money to Hamas. That is a shocking display. And that incident, it implicated a lot of other groups, including CARE. And I mean, you've probably seen these two on the news at some point, if you watch the news regularly. And their group, CARE, is one of the satellite organizations of the Muslim Brotherhood. That came out in the trial, and they've recently been labeled by Muslim countries as terrorist groups. Or terrorist satellite groups, I should say. And as far as terrorist groups go, who are you more worried about? ISIS, the big, dumb group that's constantly putting out insane internet videos that we all recognize as totally crazy? Or the Muslim Brotherhood, which is much more inclined to operate behind the scenes and trick Americans into donating money into Hamas, I would say they're a far more dangerous group to watch out for.
One final thing. He says in one of his more recent writings that he understands the motivations of some, though he might disagree with them. But he thinks your motivations might be a little bit more sinister. Okay, that's literally the word he used, sinister.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally don't know what he means by that.
The Muslim Brotherhood is not a jihadist organization.
Close enough.